When a person has a lust in his mind, he does anything with it. And you will also believe this after listening to this case. We all are afraid of going to a place since childhood. No matter how rich, poor, brave, coward, whatever it is, there is a place where no one wants to go, and that is Kabristan. But the crime that has happened in today's case is not anywhere else, but in Kabristan. This case is of Pakistan, and this case is so disturbing. When I was doing my research on this, there was only one thing coming to my mind: that in this world, neither the girls are safe alive, nor after death. Anyway, without wasting time, let's start today's video. It is a case of the time of the 1990s. A small village in Pakistan, Sargodha. There are not many facilities in this village. There are not many opportunities to work, because of which people often come out of this village to work, so that they can arrange 2 meals for their family. For this very reason, a young boy named Muhammad Riyaz left Sargodha and went to a city near Karachi, which is called Liaquatabad. He comes to Liaquatabad only in search of work, so after searching here and there for a few days, he finally gets a job, in which he had to put water in the graveyard, and he had to take care of the elderly people around. And here he befriends a man named Wazira. With time, their friendship gets deeper. One day, Riyaz sees Wazira going to a grave. It was nighttime. Riyaz was doing his work, and he sees that Wazira is going inside a grave. And then after a while, he comes out. Riyaz doesn't understand what Wazira is doing. Every night, Riyaz starts noticing that Wazira used to go inside the grave every night, and then after a while, he used to come out. Now Riyaz has some questions in his mind. Why does Wazira go inside the grave at night? What is the matter? And when he doesn't get an answer, he finally asks Wazira, "What is the matter? Why do you go inside the grave? And what do you do there?" And then Wazira tells Riyaz everything. He used to go inside the grave and do disgusting things. Actually, after sunset, Wazira used to keep an eye on the body that was brought to the graveyard. And when the family members used to bury the body and leave, Wazira used to check whether it was a male body or a female body. Now you must be thinking that how does he check? Because every body is inside the grave. So how does he know whether it is a male or female body? Actually, there is a rule in Pakistan that the graves of female bodies are covered with a sheet, so that no one can see inside. And Wazira used to check this very carefully, so that he can know whether it is a male or a female body. And when the family members used to leave after burying the body, there was no one in the graveyard. So Wazira used to go to the place where the grave was buried. He used to remove the soil from there. He used to open the grave, and he used to make some space inside the grave. Actually, some bricks are kept inside the grave, so that the soil cannot come down. It is covered with bricks. So he used to remove some bricks, so that he can go inside easily. And after that, he used to do things that no one had even imagined in their dreams. He used to do wrong things with the bodies of girls. And if I say it properly, he used to do it with the dead bodies of girls. Now when Riyaz gets to know all these things, then what would a normal friend do? What would a normal person do apart from a friend? He would go and tell the police. Or he would say that he is a friend and he cannot trap you. He would at least explain to him that you are mad. You are a fool. You should go and see a doctor. But Riyaz does not do anything like this. In fact, Riyaz himself becomes a part of Wazira's work. Riyaz and Wazira now start working as a group, and they keep doing the same things. Now what happens after a few days? Wazira used to use a lot of drugs, and once he takes an overdose, and because of that overdose, Wazira suddenly dies. Now Riyaz is all alone. His friend has gone, but his bad habits do not go away. Now he starts doing all these things alone, and Riyaz keeps doing all these things for many years. But once when Riyaz was doing all this, but he sees something like this. He gets to see something like this, that Riyaz's breath had stopped there. The year was October 2011. There was a cool breeze. It was dark. And then his family comes to the graveyard with a dead body. They bury him. After about an hour, they leave, and that body belongs to a girl. Riyaz was waiting for this, when everyone leaves. Now there is no one in the graveyard. So Riyaz goes, and slowly starts opening the grave. As soon as he enters the grave, he starts doing his bad habits. But after a while, Riyaz felt something strange. The cloth that was on the girl's body moves, and that cloth is called a shroud, and it does not stay there. It disappears suddenly. After that, Riyaz's eyes fall on the girl's teeth, and
her teeth are shining in a very strange way. And then when Riyaz suddenly looks at the girl's face, he sees that the girl's eyes are also open, and she is also shining in a very strange way. As soon as he sees her, Riyaz gets very scared. He thinks that this girl is still alive. Or maybe she was dead. But she is awake. She is a ghost. Whatever he thinks. But he gets very scared there. And somehow he runs away from there. Now he runs a little further. He meets people there. And he explains to people that that girl was dead there. But now she is alive. Her eyes are open. She is a ghost. Riyaz is very scared. Everyone used to calm him down before. Brother, breathe. It's okay. You drink water. And then all those people say, let's see once. When he comes inside and sees in the graveyard. So he sees that the grave is open. All the soil has been removed. The bricks that were kept. So now he thinks that how can this happen? How is this condition of the grave? And while thinking this, he sees Riyaz. Somewhere in his mind, one thing comes to mind. That maybe all these actions have not been done by Riyaz. He has opened the grave. He has made a place. And the girl's condition. When they see the girl's condition, they understand what Riyaz was doing. And as soon as all these people realize this, they find out that Riyaz was doing all this here. They start killing Riyaz. They are in a lot of numbers. And everyone kills him so much that he literally becomes half dead. And when his condition gets so bad that he can't even move, he can't even speak, then they go and call the police. The police come to the location without delay. The police comes and arrests him, and then takes him with them. A few days later, Riyaz is interviewed, which is telecasted on a Pakistani channel. What's your name? Muhammad Riyaz. How old are you? 27 years old. And where do you live? Sargwada. And in that interview, Riyaz accepts everything. That whatever he did, how he did it, why he did it. Everything. And then he tells that he didn't kill one girl. Not two, not three. But he did all of this with a total of 48 girls. How many deaths have you done this with? It's been 48 years. 48 years? Yes, 48 years. Hearing this, the news reporters lose their minds. And this video goes viral all over Pakistan. Everyone was very angry. Everyone wanted Riyaz to be punished as harshly as possible. In fact, to be punished in such a way that it becomes an example for the coming generation. That don't ever do this. And forget about doing it. No one should ever think like that. Now Riyaz is taken to court. The entire Pakistan's attention is on this decision. What punishment will he get? And the court sentences Riyaz to death. But you know what's surprising? What's surprising is that Riyaz is still alive and is still rotting in Pakistan's jail. And even today, every Pakistani is waiting for Riyaz's death. This act that Riyaz and the minister did is called necrophilia. It's a mental illness in which a person has a sexual attraction towards dead bodies, and they get rid of their lust from those bodies. This is not the first case of necrophilia. Another such case came from California, where in the year 1948, a person killed 50 women and then did disgusting work with their dead bodies. And what about 1948? In fact, even today, these cases keep coming up. Even today, people do disgusting work with dead bodies. In March 2020, a similar case came up from Punjab's Okara in Pakistan, in which a man named Ashraf was caught red-handed doing such disgusting work. Then in August 2021, in Pakistan's Thatta, a man took a 14-year-old girl's dead body out of her grave and did disgusting things to her. Well, you must be wondering why these things are happening only in Pakistan. But it's not like that. These things happen not only in Pakistan, but also in India. India's most famous case, Nithari Kand. This case is considered to be one of the most brutal cases in India's criminal history. When I came to know about this, I was forced to think, do we really have humans around us? Or are there beasts in the form of humans, which we mistakenly consider to be humans? Even in Nithari, there were two beasts in the form of humans: Muninder Singh Pandhel and Surendra Kohli. Well, Nithari is a village in Noida. It is said that every coin has two sides. Similarly, Nithari also had two sides. If you look at one side, there are very big houses, malls, everything. Everything is a developed area. Meaning, you will say, wow, what a place. And if you look at the other side, people are living in slums, poor people are doing their work every day, doing hard work. Somehow, even after doing so much work, they are not able to get 2 meals a day. Looking at which, you will feel that this is a really developed area. Because development is only happening there for the rich. Although there was poverty here, but people were living their lives happily. They worked hard every day, raised their families, and lived happily. But in 2003, some such things began to emerge, as if someone had cast an evil eye on this village. In this sector, there was a house DE5, in which some knights were hidden. When the veil was removed from it, it shook the whole country. On May 7, 2006, Nandlal Ji's family used to live in Nithari. His 17-year-old daughter Payal, on May 7th, goes to work as a house help in DE5. But she never returns. And when Payal does not return home, it gets very late. And when Payal does not return home for a long time, Nandlal Ji gets very worried. He gets worried about his daughter's whereabouts. His entire family gets worried. Because since 2003, children and young people were being kidnapped in Nithari. But the police were not able to do anything. But no matter how much you complain, the police were not able to do anything. They were neither able to stop the kidnapping, nor were they able to catch the kidnappers. And because of this, Nandlal Ji was in a lot of tension. Well, now Nandlal Ji himself goes out. And he starts asking everyone that you saw my daughter, you saw her. He asks the auto driver, he asks the vegetable seller. And finally, coincidentally or fortunately, he goes to a rickshaw driver and asks, have you ever seen this girl? On which the rickshaw driver says, yes, I left her at a house in the morning. Nandlal Ji says, where did you leave her? He says, DE5. He does not take the name DE5, he tells the address of the place. That you will go this side, take a right from here, there will be a house there, I left it in front of him. Well, when the rickshaw driver is telling all this, he was also getting a little angry. The rickshaw driver was getting angry. So he tells Nandlal Ji that if she is your daughter, then that girl did not even pay my rent. I left her in the morning, she went inside the house without paying the rent. And did not come out for a long time. After that, when I started ringing the bell at that house, because I needed rent, then a servant comes from inside the house, whose name is Surendra Kohli. Surendra tells that rickshaw driver that pile has left from here. But the rickshaw driver does not believe at all because he was waiting outside. He saw her going inside, but he did not see her coming out. So he did not believe at all that how can this happen, I am here since then, do not lie. Now when the rickshaw driver does not believe, then Surendra also gets angry. And he just picks up a brick in anger and kills the rickshaw driver. And then the rickshaw driver somehow runs away from there. Now when Nandlalji comes to know all this, then he comes to know that, whether his daughter has disappeared, that she has not come since then, the people living in D5 bungalow are responsible for this. Now thinking this, they go to D5 bungalow. They ring the doorbell, and the owner of that house, Moninder Singh Pandel, comes out. When Nandlalji tells him everything, then Moninderji refuses to recognize his daughter. Now Nandlalji goes to the police station to get the entire FIR done. But from the police station, he gets to hear what everyone was getting to hear in 2003. That she must have gone on her own, she will come back in a few days, you don't worry, you go from here, she will come back. He gets to hear all this. Now Nandlalji had understood that the police will not do anything until there is no pressure on them. Now Nandlalji, immediately with the help of a lawyer, filed a request in the session court and told the judge about his problem. And the judge takes this whole incident seriously and orders the police to investigate it as soon as possible. Now there was pressure on the police too. Because of the pressure, the police was also investigating. And while investigating, the police finds out that all the missing girls and children, the last location of all of them, is around D5. Now the police takes all the force and reaches D5. Now when they go to D5 and start their research, they find a tank there, which has a drain below it. And there, the police see some plastic bags. And when the police opens those plastic bags, they see human body parts in them, which are of 11 different girls. And these plastic bags are found behind Moninder's house. So the police, first of all, arrests Moninder and his servant. They interrogate them harshly. Now when the police brings all of them, they beat them up a lot. They deal with them harshly. And after dealing harshly, Surendra accepts one thing. That Surendra takes all the girls, children, women, all of them, to Surendra Malik and beats them up. And then, with their bodies, beats them up. Well, you must be thinking, how disgusting this is. And you must be thinking, yes, disgusting, disgusting. Kidnapping a girl like this, beating her up, and after her death, dealing with her body, all of this. But the story doesn't end here. Their terrifying intentions don't end here. With the bodies, after having sex, they used to cut the bodies, and boil them, and eat them. Yes, you heard it right. Surendra used to boil the body parts, and eat them. And the remaining parts, he used to pack them in a plastic bag, and throw them in the drain. Well, on this side, Surendra had accepted all of his crimes. But on the other side, Moninder always used to say that he doesn't know about all of this. In fact, he lives in a house in Noida, D5, which is very less. Now, this case is transferred from the police to the CBI. CBI, every crime in which Moninder's name was mentioned, those cases were sidelined. And Surendra's cases were moved forward. In the hearing of this case, many times, the punishments were changed. Many times, when Moninder and Surendra were taken to the court, then the court used to give them a death sentence. And then, when this case used to go to another court, then the court there used to remove the death sentence and give some more punishments. And this went on till 2023. And on the 17th of October, 2023, Allahabad court, due to lack of evidence, gave some such decisions, which, after hearing, you won't believe. The court removed all the cases of Surendra and Moninder and gave them bail. When this decision comes out, then the family members of the victims, they are shocked to hear this. And not just the family members, the whole of India, when they hear this decision, then everyone thinks that death penalty is less for all of them. For all of them, some punishment should be given, which becomes an example. But the example is very far away. They have already got the bail. These two, even today, are roaming freely in our country. Well, you will be surprised to know that Karnataka court, necrophilia, whatever such cases come, making relations with the dead body, doing all this whole thing, they have refused to believe. They believe that necrophilia is a psychosexual disease. And this does not come under the sexual offences, which were mentioned in Penal Code 1860. And there is no such thing in IPC, which considers necrophilia as rape. Well, I had told you in the beginning that after watching this video, you will believe when a person's mind makes lust its place, then it can make a person do anything. Well, while studying criminal cases, often new, strange types of cases are found. But this type of case, I had neither imagined nor heard of it. It was actually very disturbing. And I just really hope that a new law comes out in which this type of people should be given strict punishments. So, yeah guys, that's it for today. We will meet again with some other topic.